YouTube, rather than risking losing the footage, I did it live stream. As you guys know, that for some reason my camera has been airing out, so let's just keep that in mind. So if you guys missed the live stream video, you can still view it once the video has fully processed here on my YouTube channel. You'll have to go underneath the live stream tab in order to access that video. Ever since YouTube has made changes, you got different tabs. You got your home page. You got the videos. You got shorts tab. You got live. You got I guess about the channel or something, and you got community tabs as well, which I am active from time to time in the community section here on YouTube, usually on Sundays, where I post scripture reading. Restock video number 2 will be actually done later this afternoon, so that would be around 3 o'clock p.m. Central Daylight Time. It'd be 4 p.m. for those of you guys who are watching east of here, where I'm at. So you guys need to know I am from Illinois and I'm in the Central Time Zone, so there is that. And as always, the restock videos, it brings content to my channel. So, more of a bonus, kind of like a bonus footage kind of deal. But it's actually claw machine content for my channel. So, there's that. And with the extra footage, meaning like things I film outside of claw machines, like trains, videos on my Bells and Kirby's, basically became a new thing as well, featured here on my channel. So it's kind of a new thing to have mixed content, but my channel's main focus will always be claw machines. As you notice, I film more claw machine videos than I do anything else. But bell videos and vacuum videos and claw machines and trains, and pretty much became a new norm ever since the pandemic hit, as well as fishing videos and what have you. So, there's that. But now, I'm going to show you my prize for today so far, from helping one of my vendor friends. I got a Yoshi out of the Showtime claw. It took me a couple of tries to get him, which ain't bad. I mean, consider how he was put into the machine. I did have to work it out just a little bit, and I always enjoy being able to do the loud volume videos at my local movie theaters. I used to be able to do them over at my local Gopher's Grill, but ever since they have changed the schedules and stuff, it makes it very difficult for me to catch the vendor at my usual stomping grounds, which would be Gopher's Grill. So pretty much now the movie theaters are basically my stomping grounds for the time being. But it's always a good thing to help people if you can and you are allowed to do it. And if you're allowed to do it, by all means, lend a helping hand. If a vendor asks you to help fill their machines or anything along that nature, do it. I promise you, you won't regret it. It is a lot of fun. And, and it also gives you something to do. like me. It gives me something to do, and since I like claw machines, filling claw machines is right up my alley. So I mean, you know, filling claw machines up is really something I've always enjoyed doing and always wanted to do. And one day my friend from the other company turned me loose over at Gophers. Boom. And then I started doing restock videos, you know. And, you know, they let me do it, so I am thankful for that. And allow volume videos, of course. I'm always allowed to do that, but, you know, only if time is left available to do that. And he's not in a big hurry to go somewhere else. So, let's just keep that in mind as well. I mean, doing loud volume videos, it's fun. Because you can turn up the volume on the claw machine and drown out everything else going on in the background. And it kind of gets you in that gaming zone, if you will. So there is that. And then the next restock video will happen when the bowling alley opens here in about 4 hours. So there's that. And then once we get that, then we'll have all that done. And let me see what's we got going on here. So I mean, once you get that restock, I mean, when you start from an empty machine, I want to tell you this, and I kind of want to stress something out to you guys, and I cannot stress it enough to new people. And it's mind-boggling how some people just, you know, toss the stuff in there, and they wonder why they don't make a lot of money. And I'm going to tell you why. When you toss your prizes in the machine and do not set them up, you're not going to make a lot of money, and you're going to get picked clean rather quickly. And then guess what? You're going to be back in that location before a week's time. So let's just keep that in perspective here. And how you present your prizes will also determine how much money your claw machine will make. And what I mean by that is, if you toss it in there, say normally you make, I don't know, $250 every couple weeks at one location. And say you don't organize your prizes or face them forward or present them how they should be presented. What can happen is what'll happen is you'll get picked clean, and your revenue will basically be essentially chopped in half. And you can never ever set them in there too loose, because you'll lose a lot of money doing that. And I always stock the machines how I'm told when I help people. If they want to put in there tight, I do that. So, and that's one thing people just don't understand. And then what I like to do, then I'll go through and pull some heads up. I'll go in there and pull some heads up. That way they don't look too jammed in there, but yet in there tight enough to where a player ain't going to win, excuse me, right away. So that's something to be mindful about in restocking your machines. And always remember, when restocking a claw machine, guys, another thing that people need to take into consideration is how to set your claws. Meaning, say if you pay $4 or $5 for a stuffed animal for each one, you need to set your claw machine payout accordingly. So say you pay $5 or $10 for a stuffed animal piece, you'd roughly have to have your payout rate set at 1 in 10 or 1 in 15. So that means roughly a 22, roughly 10 to 15% payout, roughly. But there again, now if you have all license plus in one machine at one location, you got to know that the license plus is a bit more expensive than just the generic stuff. Like with the generic stuff, you could almost probably get away with paying out almost every time. But yet you don't want to overpay because you can still lose money doing that. Whereas if you have your license plus, say those things are probably going to be worth, $10, $10, $15, say, for example. And I'm not saying this is an actual price. I'm using this as a rough example here. But say, for example, they might be worth $15. Then that means you'd have to have a payout of 1 in 25 on the payout ratio for the license plus machine. That's what I would do. That way you can kind of cover yourself and kind of cover, the rent cost of where your machine is sitting at. But you always need to remember that presenting your prizes in your machine is also one of the number one factors in determining on how well your claw machine will do after it's been restocked. But if it's restocked right, tucked in there to an extent, but yet pulled up to where the heads are just sticking up enough to where the claw can dig them out, where you're not necessarily going to win on the first try, where you can win like 2 or 3 tries after digging that out. But you also need to make sure you have the claw strength set wisely. So that will also have a determining factor on how well your claw machines are going to do. And if you notice, if you guys use Mario plush in your claw machines at a movie theater, you're going to have a full dollar bill magazine most of the time. But as popular as the Mario plush is, as popular as that new movie is right now, and that movie was just released a couple of weeks ago, and those plush are still rather popular. But over time, the popularity will drop, and you'll start to see a decrease in how your machines make as far as revenue, how much money your machines will pull in. But right now, with stuff being popular with the new Mario movie, machines are going to do quite well in a movie theater with Mario plush in them. So let's keep that in perspective as well. Now, if you have a location at the bowling alley, those machines tend to do okay. But come summertime, it will slow down, and you're not going to make a lot of money because during the summer, people are either going to be on vacation or swimming. They're not going to be bowling. And in fact, a few years ago, J&J tried pulling the machines out and shutting them off during the summer over here. That didn't fare out very well for them. So they just kind of leave them on and understand that, hey, foot traffic's going to be slower during the summer. And, when you have slower foot traffic, less foot traffic, more or less, the slower your business is going to be during the summer at a bowling alley. Now, if you have claw machines in Mexican restaurants, they tend to do pretty good there. Again, that also depends on how you present your prizes, just like it does anywhere else, and also your foot traffic. So let's just keep that in mind. I mean, you can't just toss stuff in your machine and expect to make a lot of money. You need to take time and set them up. Now, some people just set them in there. They can still do okay, but they're not going to do as well as the other people who like to tuck them in there, but then pull the heads up and have the players working for that particular prize that they want. Now, say say if you want a Yoshi, for example, from Mario, but he's surrounded by other stuff. One thing you can do to loosen up that prize that you want is try to move stuff that's surrounding it out of the way by either winning it or just somehow getting the claw to flick it out of the way. Um, that's a good thing to also look up for too as well. Now, claw machines with a oversized claw, guys. The risk of stabbing with a claw machine that's got with a big oversized claw, the chances of stabbing is very high because that claw is so big. So, if you ever see a toy soldier or any machine with an oversized claw, please keep that in mind and adjust your play accordingly. So, that's one thing people need to take into consideration. Now, say you come across a claw machine and you'll notice you got small plush and a big claw. That's going to make your chances of winning almost impossible, if not very difficult, because the claw size is a very good indication that you may or may not win. So say you go to a toy-shot claw machine, which is a rainbow crane. Say you see the 50-cent size claw that they don't change out if they put large prizes in them. Chances are you're not going to win because the item that you are after is most likely too big. As we know that the claws can only open so far, and the arms are only so big. However, you could put larger arms on that claw and make it easier to be able to retrieve that larger item that you so wish to desire to win. But there again, claw size is a very good thing to remember. Claw size can also determine whether or not a player can win, whether or not they are good at the machines or not. If you have a small prize like Yoshi that I won in the video, which I'll be uploading that here after a while, Captain Namco versus Showtime Claw Machine episode 56. Or 57, one of the two. I'll have to look. But I think it's going to be episode 57. But I'll have to double check. But anyway, in my episode of Captain Namco versus Showtime Claw Machine, which you'll see that here momentarily, I'll be uploading it. I want you to pay attention to the claw and look at the prizes. Now, you'll notice that the claw is a good size for the prizes. However, Yoshi is just a little bit smaller than the rest of them. So that means one of two things can happen. The claw can pick it up, it's going to slide through. Or the claw is going to pick it up and shoot it out the side. So, how would a player compensate for that? Well, you're going to have to adjust your play and get that claw to get a good grip. Which you will see in the video, I was able to win Yoshi by the head. So, there is that. Now, I want you guys to also take a look at my Toy Soldier Claw Machine video that I posted from the mall the other day. You'll notice right away that the claw is oversized. And the plush in there is a good size for that claw, so that's not a big deal. But the one thing you also want to pay attention to you being the player, is the claw strength. What's going to matter to you as a player is the first and second knob on the potentiometer. Now, how weak are they set? Now, keep in mind, if you turn that second VR2 knob down, if you turn it down low enough, it will allow that claw to open up and let go. So, and then also, if you read the little notes behind the knobs, it would also determine how easy the claw allows the prize to slip through the claw, or how how easily the claw will open up and let go of that particular item that you want. So that's some a couple of tips to look out for. Now, head on over to my channel, which you're obviously here if you're watching the video, but go to my video tab and you'll look for the Toy Soldier claw machine video where I played here at my local mall back here behind us. And you'll notice how big that claw is, and you'll notice how weak it is. Now, say if you go for an item and the claw ain't strong enough to lift that item up, my last recommendation to you guys is to look at the plush and try to determine which prizes might be light enough for that claw to hang on to. And then if you can do that, that will make your chances of winning a little bit higher versus going for something heavier. Alright, we're going to end the stream here. Leave a like, comment down below. We'll see you next time. And before I go, I always want to remind you guys that Jesus loves you. And have a wonderful day, everybody.